Hi, how are you guys? So, I want to go into this question of philosophy a little bit today. And if you don't know, the word philosophy originates from the Greek word philosophia. And Sophia means wisdom. And philosophy literally means love of wisdom. That's what it means. So, this is important to understand to begin with. And moving from that, the next question is, we know what love is. You love something, you are interested, you're passionate about it. What is wisdom? When we go into this question of philosophy, we have to go into this question of wisdom because it means love of wisdom. So what is wisdom? It's not something easy to describe positively, but we can perhaps approach a little bit negatively in the sense you can negate what it is not. I don't think it's complications of any kind. So the element of simplicity must be there when we talk about philosophy. It's just simple, clear thinking and perception. Seeing things as they actually are without complicating, right? I think this is a very important aspect of philosophy. Without that quality of simplicity, I don't think true philosophy can take place. And if you observe the world today, there are, of course, many philosophers, so-called philosophers, I would say. And when you listen to them, you can sense what they are talking about is quite complicated. I would say that is really not true philosophy. True philosophy must be something which can even be understood by, even a child in some cases. It's simple wisdom, right? Wisdom can be heard by anyone. So, we must stick to this thing, this quality of simple wisdom, when we want to understand what philosophy is. So, this is very important to understand. And the second important aspect is questioning. Free questioning of everything. There must be nothing left unquestioned, right? And so one must be able to challenge everything, every belief in oneself, all the programs, conditionings, religious, nationalistic programs, all that. Nothing can be left as a taboo, right? So that's the second important aspect of philosophy as I see it. Because wisdom can only come through such questioning. And then obviously love is an important factor, right? Without love in one's heart, one can do many things like deep thinking, critical thinking, all those kind of stuff, and one can be a kind of clever philosopher. But if that quality of love is not in one's heart, I don't think one can ever understand what wisdom is. So wisdom and love go together. So I think a true philosopher must have this quality of love in his or her heart. Otherwise, I don't think true philosophy can take place. This is my humble opinion. I may be wrong, but this is how I feel in my life, and so I wanted to share these thoughts with you. If you look at this from this angle, philosophy is a beautiful thing. It's not some abstract thing for some people, who are isolated from society or thinking too much. It's not that. I think every human being in this sense, in the love of wisdom sense, should be a philosopher to know how to live rightly and happily. So I think this is very important to understand. And so, because I'm trying to make this thing clear, because the word philosophy itself already lost its meaning. Because as I explained, philosophy means simply love of wisdom, but not many people even know what it means today. But when you tell them philosophy, they already have the image of that word. It's rather they think it's a deep thing or a complicated thing, It is not. So we have to remove all these images about philosophy, the word philosophy, and come back to the original meaning, which is simply love of wisdom. And in this sense, I'll tell you something very interesting. Somebody who is in a remote village, anywhere in the world, who has never read any philosopher in his or her life, like my grandmother, for instance, or never read any of such clever books of, spirituality, philosophy, any of that kind, but have this quality of observation of the world, the people, the nature, and somehow a kind of love in their heart. You can see that wisdom in their eyes, like my grandmother. So, in that sense, my grandmother was perhaps a much, much, much evolved philosopher than many of the so-called philosophers of today with lots of books and, talking about many things. So this is a very important aspect. So what I am saying probably is going against the mainstream. But what will you do if you perceive a truth, even if it is going against the mainstream? If the mainstream was right, we would be living a better world anyway, right? So look at the world. Look how the world is now as it is. It seems to be almost a terrible place. So there is something wrong with the mainstream anyway. But these are my perceptions, and I just wanted to share with you. And in that sense, I can assure you, philosophy is a very interesting thing, and I would say it will give a very true meaning to your life. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Thank you.